Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what we did in class and then go a little bit beyond it. So where we had left off, we made the data table. So it says table 1. We have our X, which is the time the paper towel was submerged. And what our Y is going to be is mean height. So I'm going to show you how we get mean height. So the first thing to notice is I'm going to click in this cell and I'm going to hit the equal sign. What equals does is it tells Excel that we're going to do math. So to get average after the equal sign, you just start typing in average. It comes up immediately for me. Then it puts in these parentheses and it's telling you to select your cells. So we want to average together 1, 2, and 3, and you hit enter. We now have an average. The average height of all of these is 33.33 millimeters. I'm also going to show you a trick. So you can see the mouse is open crosshairs. I'm going to go to the bottom right hand corner of the formula I just entered. See how the crosshairs turn black? So over here open, over here close, they fill in their black. I'm going to drag, right click and drag down, and it's going to copy that. So what it did, you can see the formula up here. It did the same formula, but instead of being B4 to D4, it's now B5 to D5. And when I go down to this one, it's B6 to D6. So what it does is it just tells you same formula, copies it down. So now we're in a position, I'm going to save. So I just saved. I'm going to tell Excel that I want to make a chart. And I want to make a chart. You usually select your Y first. So I've highlighted these 4 values for Y. I'm going to go up to insert. I'm going to do, here we go, insert chart. And I want an XY scatter. You might get a selection of 6 different possible XY scatters. For me, that selection is over here. If you go to XY scatter, there's several different. I want the one that is just scatter, no lines. So that's what I've picked. Now I have my chart as an object in my sheet. I don't want it here. It's easier to manipulate it elsewhere. So I'm actually going to go to, I'm going to right click, or on a Mac, control click. And when I go down, one of the options is move chart. So I'm going to hit move chart. It's going to make it a new sheet. This will make the whole page a chart. I'm actually going to call this graph 1 averages. Click OK. And what it does is it moves it into its own page. One of the things that most charts come up with incorrectly is that they're the wrong font size. So this is like font size, I think 10. For me, I'm going to go over to home, and it's 10. I'm going to change it to 16. Just makes it a little easier to read. Next thing I want to do is I want to, again, save early, save often. I'm going to go back to chart design, and I'm going to add chart elements. First thing I want to do is axes titles. There's all the different things you could want to add, including the trend line, which we'll get to, are in here. But let's do the axes title. Let's do the primary horizontal. For us, that is on our X should be submerge time. And then for our Y, let's add our axis titles here. Let's do our primary vertical. So let's change this to, I'm going to change, you can click right in here, height, and I'm going to put the unit millimeters. Oh, which reminds me, I should go in here and put the units as well. I'm going to put seconds. Now, one of the things you may notice is these are correct, but the scale is actually wrong on the bottom. In order to fix that, I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on the chart area. Okay. I'm going to go up to data, and I'm going to do chart source data. Yours might say look different. It might say select data. There's a second way to get to this. If I do control click again on the chart, you can do select data again. Both of those take you to the same thing. So this is where Excel understands how to do a graph. So series 1, that's the first piece of data you're graphing. It has a Y value, but it doesn't have an X. So I'm going to go back over to my sheet and tell it where the X is. So I highlight X. I click on this little thing, which shrinks it. I go back to sheet 3, which is where my data was. I select my X's, which were 10, 20, 30, and 40. And I click OK. and you'll see it actually automatically updates the scale for you. So this is all set. Actually, don't need a chart title. Get rid of that. I'm going to hit save again. Anytime you're working in Excel, you really want to save early and often. And the other thing you need to add is a trend line, which is the relationship between the scatter. We don't actually want to play connect the dots. Trend line takes into account how far above and beyond the mean they are. So I'm going to go back to add chart element, trend line, and I want a linear. And it puts it right in for me. So there's my line of best fit. Notice a line of best fit is only between your lowest and highest values. It doesn't go all the way to the origin, but this will do. If I wanted to add, I could go to format trend line, could change the color. I could also do things like display the equation if I wanted to, but we don't need that. So I'm going to save this. And that's how you should format your graph, put in your trend line, things of that nature. So you guys should work on that while I'm out.